games off with my team.
So cold, I swear my flow froze. All I need some G.
Listen, work a certain system as we travel the distance. Take me to another town, show them how we get down. So many taking credit for something they didn't earn. Jordan and Cedric gonna be the ones that make them learn. And those are real names.
Look, money is a major issue. So just know when I mention paper, I ain't talking about tissue.
Oh man, I was ready to go. I was like, wait, I don't even see myself. What's up, guys? You know what it is. Welcome back. It's Saturday morning. We coming in. I'm the bus driver, Gemini, joined by the other bus driver, Statik. What up, man?
What's up, man?
Yo, we got
new day, same people.
New day, same people. Oh yeah, new day because this is the first Saturday, right?
This is our first Saturday show.
Woo! Hey guys. Get ready for it, especially rolling to the NFL season. We got some special stuff coming up in the works for you guys. But today, we fully loaded, man. We got draft chaos. We got Texas basketball talk for some reason. Nuggets changes finally.
Yep.
And a sauce deal with DJ Mustard. Yep, I said it. A sauce deal with DJ Mustard. So let's get into it. Hey, you know how I do, so we'll go ahead and get a little promo in for Shady Sports Network. You're watching the bus stop on Shady Sports Network, so rock with us. Hit that like button, hit that share button, please subscribe, and we'll get right into it after this promo. Yes, sir. You saw I look no further for sports. Straight up, man. If you're just looking for sports, something good to watch, something different, check out ShadySportsNetwork.com. I guarantee you'll find something you like over there. But this right here, man, we got a whole little bubble right now going on, Statik. So I feel like we got some good stuff talking. It's been some crazy, not crazy. It's been some stuff happening, lately. We just had the NBA draft. I don't know. I don't really watch the draft. I don't know. It's kind of boring to me, to be honest.
Yeah, we haven't had a good prospect to really take over the league since LeBron. I'm waiting for that one where they're just like, who's he going to go to? What's going to happen? What trades are going to happen to get this person? Who's going to end up? Where he's going to end up?
Yeah, man. And then the Nuggets haven't drafted anybody significant since Melo, too. So that same draft, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's been anything since then. But this draft was pretty anticipated. I guess everybody knew about this since last year. So going number one, Cooper Flagg went to the Mavs at number one. I think the surprise was the Mavs getting the number one pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a bit weird. They traded Luka, and all of a sudden, they end up with the number one pick after losing in the play-in. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's some luck of the draw for sure. I don't know how they ended up landing that. It's divine intervention, some would say, I guess, if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. But, it's one of those things where, you feel like they threw away their whole franchise. Nothing's ever going to come good in Dallas. Their streak is done. Their franchise, the face of the franchise is over. And then you get news like this where they're back in action. They're back in the talk of, playoff contention. They're back in the talks of all this other stuff. If they get Kyrie Irving back off of injury, like it's going to be a pretty beast of a team, honestly.
Right. Well, because then Kyrie, he just he declined his player option so he could sign his extension.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that. And then so you got this guy, Cooper Flagg, who's, I guess one of the most anticipated rookies since Zion, I guess now. And he comes in and he walks into a team where you already got, Klay Thompson, out there on the outside. You got Anthony Davis. And then, like you said, you got Kyrie when he gets back from injury.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be some adjustment for him. But, in college, he was averaging 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists. And he was a 48% shooter from the field. So, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with this guy. Is he going to be able to duplicate this in the big leagues? If he can duplicate that in the big leagues, then it's going to be tough contention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be crazy to see. I think he walked into a really good situation to be able to duplicate it, because I feel like usually when you're the first round pick, I mean, as Zion, you're asked to have to carry the team,
Yeah.
and do a lot more than most. That's why they're bringing you in to be the first round pick.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll have to do that as much, with AD there, with having Kyrie coming off an injury. They have a stacked lineup already as is. The only person that they really did lose was Luka. So I mean, if he could put up those Luka style shots and numbers, then they're right back in that talk again. And you got your new face of the franchise. He's like 18 years old, man, so he's got a lot of game to ball.
Yeah, he has a lot of game and a lot of time and a chance to pick it up too, right? So, moving on to pick number 2. I mean, this is the Spurs' third pick in the top 2 in the past 3 years. Dylan Harper goes to the Spurs, so now he's paired with a crowded backcourt. You got Wemby, you got De'Aaron Fox. I'm saying, like, what's going on over there in San Antonio? Are they building something for the future over there? This is the next OKC, do you think?
I wouldn't say OKC right off the bat. It really depends on what they're able to do with these players. I feel like they're not done by any means. I think they're still going to have some moving around to do. I think if they make the right trades, the right times for the right people, that they really can secure something close to that OKC kind of dynasty almost. And I wouldn't say dynasty yet because this is only their first championship that they have, but can they continue the pace they're at? Are they going to be looked at as the next dynasty with OKC?
Yeah, because I'm saying, like, to be a dynasty, they got to beat out OKC. They got to beat out Minnesota. They got to beat out the Nuggets, Like,
Yeah.
What a time.
Definitely. And OKC, if they go on their roll and they go on a run, then, it's going to be tough to beat them if they can continue to do exactly what they did this year. It was questionable in terms of their ability to win that championship. It seems like they really did kind of pull out all strings. They really did play off of people's injuries and all that. So can OKC repeat, and can they play a fully healthy team that's, just on the same level as them?
It's hard to repeat, man. When was the last repeat champion?
Would it be Golden State?
Golden State, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Would you rather build around Flagg and Kyrie and Davis over in Dallas, or would you rather build around Harper, Wemby, and what's the other guy's name? Let me pull up the roster. Yeah, because I mean, I guess that's the way you look at the championship, because it was the Celtics before OKC, so you have a veteran team that won the championship, and then you have a young team that won the championship. Basically, you got the Mavericks versus the Spurs. Which one do you want? Which one do you take?
And like it's interesting because the Spurs still have Chris Paul too, so they still have a little bit of that veteran status to them. But it's really, I think I would want to go with the Spurs, honestly, just because of the youth that comes with that team. It really seems of that team with having Kyrie and AD and others on that team where they're seasoned, they're experienced, but you could really build around the Spurs with the youth they have on that team. Really, honestly, they got a lot of youth on that team. Wemby, as long as he comes back fully healthy and everything like that, he's going to be looked at as potentially defensive player of the year if he could pull a whole season off. Chris Paul has that experience where he can really kind of coach those huddles and get everybody in the right mindset to go into that next couple of scoring drives and push the ball and push the assists up and get everybody the ball that needs it, So Chris Paul is very good at that. I've always respected Chris Paul for his game. He's always been a standout player to me that really he's always been underdog in my opinion, and he's had recognition and all that, but they've always looked at him as just like that fill-in kind of dude,
Yeah. And I mean, well, yeah, because they still got Stephon Castle, last year's rookie of the year. So I'm looking at this. I'm on Athlon Sports on MSN, and it's the projected Spurs lineup after adding Dylan Harper. So De'Aaron Fox, point guard, Stephon Castle, shooting guard, Dylan Harper, small forward, Jeremy Sokan at power forward, and Victor Wembanyama. So just a completely young lineup.
Yeah, and Sokan's a beast too in his own right. You know, he's really. I was watching him a little bit last year, being like, that guy, he's got potential. So I mean, that's the team I would want to build off of. That's the team I would want to go with. Dallas, they're kind of solidified in their decisions, where you can assume that they're done. You know, they got their team, they're gonna roll with it. As to with the Spurs, we don't know what they're going to do, really, honestly. They really got a lot of bench players to push around. They can have that standout bench player that becomes a starter midway through. There's a lot of different things that they can do still to build off of what they have currently.
Yeah, right? I mean, plus in Dallas, too, man, you got to worry about injuries. One injury can take that whole team out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of these Texas teams, though, how would you rank the Texas teams? I'm talking the Dallas Mavericks, San Antonio Spurs, and the Houston Rockets, who are no slouches themselves. I mean, they just got Kevin Durant, so I think that instantly, helps the team that was number 2 in the West last season.
Yeah, I think the Spurs are the team I'd want to build off of, but I don't project them to be top 5 in the conference right now. And so with those to rank it, I think I would go Dallas, Spurs, Rockets. Even though the Rockets were the number 2 seed last year, they gave up a couple pivotal pieces, honestly, because Dylan Brooks was a heavy defensive player for them.
Yeah, he was.
KD he's a pusher. He really pushes the ball. He puts the pressure.
He can
on
block.
Them. Yeah, he can block, but that's if he gets down there in time. That's if he's, feeling fully healthy and all that. You can tell when KD's not feeling 100%. You see it in his play. He's not getting down the court as quickly as, those trades that they sent off for him were. So I think that's going to heavily affect them. I think they're going to drop down quite a bit this year, honestly, in terms of acquiring KD. And I think it's going to put a stain on his legacy. With that move, it's good. It's good financially for him, but other than that, I feel like he could have held out and went to a better team that had more.
Oh gosh, hold on, man. Where is this report I saw this morning? Oh, it's wild. I saw a report saying that it might have been on ESPN, saying that the Nuggets were close to getting the KD, and KD turned it down. So I guess they weren't close, but they were close to making a deal, and then KD turned it down because he wanted to go somewhere without state tags.
Yeah, and that's just playing for money, and that says a lot about what's going to happen in Houston with him, honestly. If he's just playing for the money, he's not playing for the legacy or the passion, then, it's going to affect his legacy overall. You want to have somebody with heart, and I think that was, I'm happy as a Nuggets fan that he turned that down because, that would have been cool. But at the same time, we need defense. We need
defense. I saw that.
We need defense. We don't need somebody who's going to slouch and just complain about having to pay state taxes. What is that, man? Contribute back to your community. Contribute back to the state you live in, be proud of where you play, and play your heart out. I mean, it shouldn't be about the money always, especially when you had a career like KD where, he could retire at any time and he's good for a few lifetimes.
Very true. If it ain't about the money, what they say?
Right.
I said it best, man. But you're right, though. I mean, I'd rather have someone who wants to be here, wants to ball out, than someone that's just like, oh, yeah, I'm good for it. Yeah,
exactly. So Nuggets got moves to make on their end, definitely, and I don't see them being done. They're just catching up, and it's not the kind of league you want to play catch up in, honestly. So I see the Nuggets kind of just really stagnating and sitting on stuff and having to really make some harsh adjustments and have another mediocre season, but hopefully, with solidified front office and solidified coaching, maybe we can make a move in the next couple seasons and add to Jokic's legacy and continue afterwards. When he finally calls it, we have something in place for that.
Yeah, if he calls it here.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, no, I also read another article where they're saying Kroenke said something about, there might be a position where they might have to trade Jokic. And it's like there should never be that kind of scenario. We should.
Yeah, he briefly brought it up. I don't know
Yeah.
if we would trade him though.
It's like don't put that out there. Don't manifest that kind of juju with us, man. We want him. We love him. He's a Denver Nugget through and through. He said that many times that he loves being here. So why would you even put that out there?
Right? Like, come on, man. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Exactly.
Don't you put that on me. Nah, but that is so true. And speaking of the Nuggets, man, they really didn't do a whole lot so far this offseason that I've seen. I mean, they named Ben Tenzer and Jonathan Wallace as their co-VPs, which is weird. Like, what? One's going to handle the money, Ben Tenzer's going to handle the money, and Jonathan Wallace is going to handle the players, or vice versa? How's it go? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't really know how
it's
that
work
is
out.
going to look, really, honestly. It's a confusing kind of dynamic that they're trying to go with this. And, maybe it'll prove beneficial because they can have one person focused on players 100% and one person focused on the back end with the contracts and everything. But I don't know. He's puts a lot of doubt in my mind just because you want to find that dude that can handle it all. You want to find that dude that has his team has their backs, they got his back, and he handles everything, So we'll see how that dynamic works and see if it's beneficial. And, maybe other teams will look at it the same way. And maybe it's the start of something different because you don't see this with any other team really right now currently. So it might be the start of something with a lot of other teams where they're like, that is beneficial having a guy just dedicated to this and another guy dedicated to that.
Right. I guess it could be. And then it sounds like Josh Kroenke is going to be the third or the tiebreaker.
Well, yeah, he's the one that signs those checks.
Well, that's true, right? But still, I think, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, right? It just sucks that they're doing it right now while we should be loaded up with stars, worried about these divas, but that are still going out and winning titles. I'm sorry, we should be in that era right now, but for some reason it took us 10 years longer than it took OKC to get our young players there, and now they're not young players anymore.
Right, exactly. And we need a dramatic move. I still feel like an MPJ and Jamal Murray trade is inevitable if we want to see success. Just finding that consistent player with maybe a couple draft picks to really kind of get us through these next couple of years of not having anything, because that's really getting depressing seeing these NFL or NBA drafts and not seeing Nuggets get any picks.
Yeah.
It really makes our future look bleak.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing that sucks. It's like, man, y'all couldn't do nothing. You couldn't jump to the second, but at the same time, I guess, I don't know if you don't need the reach, but.
And in their opinion, they don't feel like that we need that reach, but I feel like we do 100%. I feel like and maybe we're waiting for that prime draft. I mean, this was one of them. Cooper Flagg was highly anticipated. We could have made some big moves and traded out 3 of our players for the number 1 overall pick and got Cooper Flagg, brought him in. Who knows what that would have looked like for the Nuggets, but we're just stagnant. It's hard when we're deciding who our GM is a couple days before, if not a day before the draft. How you got to make things work with that.
Yeah, that's super weird. Like, just the time, and they were so quick to make the move on the coach, and it, I guess it helped in the playoffs, but it really didn't do a whole lot. But man, recently they haven't done nothing. They brought back Dario Saric. That's the moves.
But use them. If we're gonna have them, use them. You don't see these bench players out there ever unless it's when we're throwing up the white flag.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about David Adelman, right? He's not going to be afraid to play those players. So supposedly, there's, I guess there's been some MPJ trade rumors going around.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see MPJ out. served his time with us. He did have an impact in our championship year, but we invested too much too quick, and now we're suffering because of that. What
Yeah.
we knew he wasn't going to have consistency. We knew he wasn't going to have longevity, and that was something that we should have that championship year utilized. When we let Bruce Brown go, we let Green go. It's like, man, come on, like we could have made these moves that year and gotten MPJ out of there and looked at our future from right then and there when his contract was at its peak in terms of trade value. You know, we could have really made some moves that championship year, and we chose to just let our key core go and hold on to these guys and give them max contracts without earning it.
Mm-hmm. That's
We
so
didn't-
true.
We didn't win that championship because of MPJ.
Well, he had some good shots.
He did, but he was not a game changer in that series whatsoever.
Right, and then going to next season, our backup shooting guard is Julian Strawther. Our backup point guard is freaking Jalen Pickett.
Yeah, there was never any series since our championship year in any playoffs that we've been in where I've sat there and been like, we won because of this player other than Jokic and Murray. And I feel like Murray is just in a slow decline where it's like, if we hold on to him a couple more seasons, there's going to be no value there. There's not going to be any point in what we're paying him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild too because, unless Russell Westbrook comes back, we really don't have much behind him.
Yeah. So we probably have to sit on that decision this year and suck it up and hold out with Murray to see how he does. But I still feel like we need to do something with MPJ. I still feel like, we need
I want him to go and get a center. I don't want him to go get a backup center for Joker.
Me too. A strictly defensive center, which
get somebody that's going to come in and just knock some people off the charts, because then if you do get this strictly defensive center, then maybe you could slide Joker over to the 4 for a couple minutes. You don't always have to take him out, but maybe you could slide him over too and have two bigs, right? Maybe you slide Aaron Gordon down and then you can sit MPJ down for a second. Like maybe you can do stuff like that, but it's just like we have never had a true backup center for Joker. And, and then, he was asked to play, 45 minutes a game. It's like, Can't keep this going on. Dude's going to retire next season.
Right, exactly. And that's just where it's been really rough watching, the Denver defense these past couple seasons is just really kind of watching this decline of us having to come back. It's always been a comeback lately just because we don't play enough defense. We're not getting down the court fast enough to play that solid defense. The only thing that we really have defensively is Swatson.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts up those block numbers, man. That's what, if we're going to hold on to anybody.
But he can't shoot.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But that's where we're kind of demanding that strict defense a little bit on the slow time.
Yeah.
Swap them out, and that's where you have that straight shooter in there that's just 100% of the time, doesn't, stress in those moments. He can nail those heavy shots like we used to see from Jamal. Have them out there, have Jamal, Jokic, Swatson, Aaron Gordon, and a strict shooter. Christian Brown, we want to be that, but he kind of folded in the playoffs a little bit. I think the pressure was too high for him as a starter. I feel like
he knows he's not a shooter, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want somebody to bang on the inside, go and bang. Remember when he went up and banged on LeBron the championship run?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Come on, if you want somebody to take it up on the inside and get that Kobe Bryant foul, he can do that. But he knows he's not a consistent 3-point, and he's been working on it though. He ain't it. That's what MPJ was, but he was dragging his shoulder through the entire playoffs. Dude's dragging his left arm on the ground the whole time, like still making some shots. But he showed like, dang, like. That's why we can't trade him, because we need a sharp. If we trade him, it has to be a strict sharpshooter. That's the thing. Like, we can't get any depth pieces out of. Maybe we get some depth pieces. Maybe we get like a sharpshooter and then like a defensive piece if we traded him, or like a pick or something. But like, we can't just like trade him away for like just like one player or something like that. It has to be like a specific, like a shooter. If it is going to be like we would have to trade him for like, oh man, and it would never happen. But it had to be like what, like Klay Thompson or like Desmond Bain. You know, one of those players that are like certified shooters. You know what I mean? They're gonna snipe on the outside. KD. It would have had to be something like that. Like maybe like MPJ in a few seconds or something, which I guess we didn't have 5 seconds to even trade, so that's why we couldn't even get into it. But we could have traded MPJ in some seconds for sure. So I bet that's what they offered. You know what I mean? Like, but that's it. But Murray, oh man. But see, with Murray, we don't have a point guard. That's the thing. So we have to get a point guard back and then try to get. So that's why we can't trade the both, either one of them, like, because we don't get back what we need. We just got to try to, like, I don't know, get some picks, man.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. You know, it's taking that hit, having a sustainable fill-in for that position, and making it through the season to get to those drafts, trying to get back to the playoffs, let them know we're still here, we're still the same team, and then trying to get back them positions with more improvement, where it's an all-around player. It's not just offense or defense, but they're just that strict hybrid where they can play both sides of the ball.
That would be nice. That would be freaking nice. I mean, that was probably what I think we would have gotten out of this draft had we had a pick in this draft.
Yeah. And, you know, I think getting Bruce Brown back is still an option, but it hasn't really made any moves on it. We haven't heard nothing huge about it.
Yeah, that'd be the best pick, especially if Russ doesn't come back.
Yeah.
If Russ doesn't come back, Bruce Brown is probably he's definitely our best bet, even if I take him over Russ, right?
Yeah, I would take Bruce Brown over Russ any day.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the Russells here in Denver.
Same.
Get something else, but I mean, I don't even know. I want to do a deep dive and see, because hey, I saw the Celtics were shopping Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and that would be huge. I know we talked about that. We talked about that a few episodes.
Yeah, we trade Murray and MPJ for him, because I'd take that. Let's go ahead, and I'd struggle at point guard for a few seasons. Actually, we could just, probably just have to slide Joker into point guard and then find a center somewhere.
Yeah.
And just have a big medium lineup.
Yeah, and that would be a beautiful change, honestly, and a necessary change. I would love to see that, honestly, just because Brown is a beast, and when it comes
champion.
Yeah.
I mean, Murray's a champion, so can't say it like that. MPJ is a champion.
But, who's on the incline, who's on the decline?
Who is, though? You don't know. Because we don't know, because we just saw the Nuggets team get run into the ground. We didn't see them with the chance of having players come up behind them and actually truly come up behind them. Every player that was coming up behind them got shipped off.
Yep.
Right? Imagine if we still have Bones. We still have Bones on this team. We'd be like, okay, cool. We got a solid backup shooting guard right now. Now we just got to worry and go find a backup point guard, someone that'll challenge Murray. Bones would have challenged Murray.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously we see how his direction's going. Maybe not.
And maybe that's why we've seen these, backdoor firings happening and all that, is because, the ownership is seeing that we let go of a lot of solid people that we could have definitely utilized at this point in time for the longevity of this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like what the Broncos were doing, Same difference. They can't hold on to those backup players for some reason, and they go off and actually, none of the Nuggets players have really gone off to be stars anywhere else. I can't think of someone that's gone off.
I can't think of anybody that's came off the championship team that had success anywhere else.
Yeah, because Bruce, we see where he's going. KCP just got traded.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it might just have this lingering effect with those guys where it builds a true camaraderie with our team, where it's like, you're not stick with us, man. You're gonna get success with us. You're gonna hold out with us, and you're not gonna find it anywhere else.
Might as well. We'll see. We shall see. I hope. I don't know. I don't know what they could do. I guess they just have to kind of run it back. See.
Apparently, Statik Jr. wants to say hi to everybody.
Hey, mini rapper. What's up, dude?
He could be a shy one. He's like, no, I don't have any input on this quite yet.
Right. Do you think the Nuggets should trade away the Joker?
No, absolutely not. I feel like that is the Nuggets right now. If we can, I don't care how many bad seasons we have, as long as we can keep him, then it really keeps the hopes there. It really keeps the fan base there. I feel like the second we do a Jokic trade is going to be the day you see the Nuggets tickets go back down to Rockies prices. And
well, what if they could get like 5 first-round picks?
I still don't think it's worth it. You got the best basketball player in the world, undisputably. Like, why would you give that up for anything? You'd have to give up a whole team plus some picks.
Would you trade away Aaron Gordon?
Man, that would be a hard one. But I feel like if it would have to be the right decision, it would have to be somebody who could replace him and fill in that extra spot that we really needed. It has to be a 2-for-1 deal.
Would you trade away Christian Brown?
Yeah, I would.
Oh dang.
In the right moment, I would. It would have to be one of those Aaron Gordon 2-for-1 trades too, though, because I mean, his accolades speak for themselves. I mean, he's a high school champion, went a couple of years in college, went into a national championship, and the very next year won an NBA championship. So, like, his accolades deserve the 2-to-1. That doesn't matter what his current stats are sitting at, because they're constantly improving each season too. So he's one of those on the rise stars that's a selling point. If we're going to be getting someone like Jaylen Brown, I don't mind seeing Christian Brown go.
Oh, well, I guess they play the same position pretty much.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's built, and I think that may be the issue with Christian Brown that I would love to see from him, if he is really wanting to prove his worth to the team, is him put on some mass. He's a scrawny dude. If he could put on some mass to him to be able to play some solid defense but keep his same performance levels up, I would love to see that.
Okay. Little John agrees.
Okay. What?
Okay. He's like, I can't say it enough. Especially if he's going to be in there banging too. Because, we want to, see him move into more so that MPJ role, maybe even possibly, and just kind of go a smaller lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could see him being one of the few that would find success elsewhere, just because it's Christian Brown. It seems like success likes to follow him wherever he goes. But it's one of those things where we got to make the moves. We gotta make that change. Change is inevitable but necessary. And the changes we've made on this team are not the right ones. And we need that person that comes in and just really changes stuff up for the better and really adds to the youth of the team.
Yes. Nah, that's so true, man. I don't know, but they're probably not going to make any moves.
No, I don't think so.
Masai Ujiri officially fired, let go, steps away from Toronto. I don't know what happened.
It seemed like a mutual departing.
Could you see a reunion happening with the Nuggets?
It would be nice.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost them. Oh. Well, that's okay. See if we can get them back on. But I would say probably if we'll see this next year if it doesn't go as good as it could go, right? We could see maybe the Nuggets making them, move to maybe make a more solid change in front office. Yo!
I don't know what happened there. Some technical difficulties apparently.
Technology happened.
Yes, sir.
We're moving too fast for it. It's like, y'all got to slow down.
Yeah, They were
Well,
started hearing us talking about Ujiri, and they're like,
Right. Well, that's okay. We can move on anyway. He's out of Toronto. Who knows who comes to Denver? We won't know about it. New music though, right? Get into that new music from yesterday. Some music came out. We got some stuff we can talk about. And then also some crazy news. DJ Mustard gets signed by Heinz. I know I meant to have the Mustard drop from Kendrick right here. Completely on that, because that would have been super tight to have right here. But yeah, DJ Mustard signs deal with Heinz to release a Chipotle honey mustard. How you feeling about that? What you thinking?
I think it's diverse for sure.
It's super diverse. You gonna try this honey mustard? This Chipotle honey mustard. I like honey mustard. I think I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, but I respect the hustle. I respect the diversity of this contract.
Yeah, it's different, I'd say. And it's I guess it's Heinz's first deal in 10 years, or first change in 10 years, and first major celebrity spokesperson.
Interesting. That's very interesting, and it's a move on Heinz's part for sure. It's them, being like, no, we're still relevant. We need some relevancy in our company.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they should do something in Heinz Field. That he has to do something in Heinz Field, right?
Right.
That'll be good. But yeah, on the other front, what was that? Let's bring out the worst. Checking that out. DMX and Joyner Lucas, that dropped.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I think it's dope, honestly. It's something that nobody really thought of. And you see all these post-death songs coming out of artists and all that. Somebody nobody's ever really messed with since they passed is DMX.
Yeah, I feel like though lately I've been hearing kind of some. Well, there's this, and I think there was something else that came out. I think he had an album come out.
I'd have to look that up. I don't recall.
Look that up and see.
Yeah, but one of those interesting things that I love to see DMX on anything, man. I've always been a DMX fan, man. He was always that I don't care mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Let Us Pray. What was that, 2024?
If DMX was an NBA player, I would love to have him with the Nuggets, man, because he has that I don't give a damn mentality.
Well, he'd be like, oh, what was that one player the Nuggets had? He always wore a headband. Looked like he was with Rockefeller. Oh man.
Was it Ty Lawson?
Huh?
Ty Lawson?
Nah. I think he played with Ty Lawson though. Nah. Let's see. I hated when the Nuggets had Ty Lawson, man. That was a crappy Nuggets team.
Yeah.
At least our problem now is like, oh, well, Murray's just not playing up to his potential. MPJ is not playing to his potential. Not like, oh gosh, they're just garbage. That's when the tickets were cheap, man.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I still respect about the Rockies, man. They suck, but that's the one affordable ticket you can get being a Coloradan.
Very true. Very true. You want to go to a game, and especially on a nice day, you can almost even not even have to plan it. You just be like, you know what? Let's just go to the Rockies game and still probably find a ticket for like $14 in the rock pile if you really wanted to.
Your first beer at the stadium costs more than your ticket.
Yeah. And actually, they have like $8 beers.
Yeah.
They have like cheaper beers you can get.
And you could also go to McGregor Square. McGregor Square is popular for their cheap prices right outside the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, no. The Rockies, they got a good setup. They got a crappy team, but still like. And then they're saying, 4th of July show is the Rockies and the White Sox,
Yeah.
two of the last two worst teams in the MLB. And you know what? Because it's 4th of July and they're gonna have fireworks, they're still gonna have 38,000 seats filled.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
And they still got one of, I'd say top 10 best stadiums for location and fan environment and the overall experience you get at the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
The location is prime. Everything around the stadium is amazing. It's very fan-friendly environment. So, I mean, things are on the up for the Rockies. They just got to make the right decisions on their back end to make sure. And it starts with that ownership. Man. They got to sell that team.
Well, they just named what's his name? Dick Mumford's son. Is it Charlie Mumford? Well, they just named his son the president. And yeah, because they just got rid of dude Charlie. They just named the son the president of operations.
I just don't know if that'll really change anything because he's still gonna have to go to dad to finalize decisions in terms of, if the dad doesn't like the way it's going, whatever the case may be, dad's gonna step back in.
Well, maybe it's them making a move to get him that experience. He's 38.
Yeah, and that's just, it seems like that's the Denver dynamic, really, honestly, because, I mean, that's what the Nuggets are doing. Stan Kroenke ain't the overseer of the Nuggets.
Walter Mumford.
He still owns the team, but, Stan Kroenke, he kind of let the family
letting Josh take over more. Josh has been doing the press conferences for not even just the Nuggets and the Avalanche. He's been doing it more so for the Rams too. You've been seeing him all across the board he's like the face all across the board on all their teams.
Yeah, and that's probably a lot to do with age and just the change that's happening in the leagues and all that, where Stan's just not really up for everything that's required of a true ownership.
Yeah, well, you see what happened with the Broncos, right? See that feud that went on for a couple years.
Yeah, and that's why I really do like a almost councilship of ownership instead of just that one overall.
Yeah, and so I mean, so you gotta hope that changes are coming to the Rockies for sure. Did you listen to any of the Tech Nine album? I guess that dropped too.
Yeah, I have not taken a listen to that yet, honestly. It's been kind of a busier week for me in life, but it's coming up on 4th of July. It always gets serious busy, but it's one of those. I'm gonna take definitely a listen because I've always been a Tech Nine fan. I've always respected his work and all of that. I think 52 years old now. I'm proud of him to see him still doing stuff and still trying to be relevant in an industry that's ever changing.
Yeah, I gotta find a pair of headphones or AirPods, man, that I like. That way I feel like I listen to more music.
Yeah, ask the chat. What if y'all are listening to this? What earbuds do y'all use? And are they good? Are they comfortable? Can you wear them for long periods?
That's why I need something to wear for long periods because we get headaches, man. Or maybe I was thinking I'd get some headphones, but then that makes my head. I don't know. I just need something that'll get music into my head without having anything on my head.
Yeah, and I got the Galaxy Bud Pro 2s.
I like those. Yeah, we talked about those.
Yeah, I like them overall. I don't like I haven't upgraded to the 3s yet because they look a lot like the AirPods, which I'm just not. I don't like the visibility of it. I like having that discreetness of.
That's what I want, like discreet, just something that's there.
Yeah. I do notice after a period of time, I'd say maybe like an hour or so, hour and a half, that my ears will start to get a little sore though. So, I mean, I don't know if there's like that. I want to know too what the group has to say, what commenters and viewers have to say in terms of comfort over periods of time, just because I don't see any headphones on the market or buds on the market that are just comfortable all the time, no matter what. I never take them out, almost kind of headphones,
Yeah, that's what I need. So I'm gonna just forget about set it and forget it.
Yep.
Because, yeah, I just can't be switching in and out all day. And then I can't do chords.
Yeah, no, chords are obsolete at this point, man. They're
Yeah. I just took these headphones when I traveled and just did the chord on my iPhone.
yeah.
And I don't know. It was
Bluetooth,
frustrating.
Bluetooth's the wave of the future, man.
I know, right? Maybe I'd have to go with that Nero link. Nah. But yeah, what other new music you got? I got did T-Pain drop something new?
Not that I've seen on my list, but you might know something I don't know, and my list don't know. We got the new Lupe Fiasco.
Oh yeah, I listened to that. Yeah, T-Pain dropped something. Whoa, it was a feature. He's been doing a lot of features lately. Toxic.
That's
Oh,
where that's what
that
he
was like a
lives
week
off of.
ago.
That's how he lives. That's what he lives off of is those features, man.
Hey, get it while you live.
Exactly. He was the feature king.
Yeah, and then that Lupe, was it the Samurai?
Yeah, it's Samurai plus places or palaces. Samurai palaces.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty chill. It was a little slow.
And we also got Big X to Plug and Shabuzi put out a track together.
That was actually decent. That
Yeah.
was a really because I was like, wait, I was like, what? I was like, I saw the video somewhere actually. I think on YouTube. It was weird. And
I think it's a good vocal matchup, man. Honestly, you get a little bit of that raspy, dark hood kind of vocals from Big X, and then you get like those more melodic, darker vocals from Shabuzi.
mm-hmm. And then the beat just kind of, man, it's a new wave. New wave of music. Just kind of whatever you're feeling, just do it. There's no genres or you have to be this certain sound.
Yeah. And then, did you hear about Kendrick's dropping a feature on one of Clips' songs? That's highly anticipated.
Okay.
And there was like pretty much a leak of that.
Dang, that Drake beef just revived him. It just brought him back to life, I feel like, quite honestly, because he was not doing a whole lot before that. He was every once in a while. Oh, did we get a? There we go. What'd you say? I think you froze for a second.
I was just saying that it's definitely keeping that. I was just rolling off what you said with the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, kind of revitalized Kendrick and everyone.
Yeah.
I think he's really just kind of trying to put everybody in place where they're talking about how he's like this periodic rapper where like he only comes.
Well, he was.
But he's really proving them wrong. He's being like, I can do this consistently. It's just a matter of do I feel like it.
That's true, especially for the fact that he did manage to make it. You know what I mean? That superstardom without having to drop something that's consistent all the time, maybe, right?
Yeah, and anything that he drops is gold. It's just straight platinum. It's straight just bars, and it's amazing, and it always hits number ones. He's all about number ones, and I think maybe that's also what he plays off of too with the whole industry. He understands that if you stay consistent, that eventually you're gonna drop off and start getting top 10s, and then those top 25s, then top 50s, and he knows that if he just does it periodically and he stays relevant, that he's number one all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, unless like I feel like when Cole drop, he still get there too.
Yeah.
Drake obviously is always there.
Another periodic group is going to be Statik and Gemini. We come through every now and then.
Hey, just do it. It's art, man. You do it when you feel it. Can't force it.
Exactly.
But I do gotta get that verse, man. I like it.
But but everything that we drop, I consider it myself as a classic, and
Classic. Banga.
yeah, you go back.
Banga, as my Australian friend would say.
Yep. Anybody that goes back, that's a true fan of ours, goes back and listens to our older stuff. They're like, man, this were classics. Why don't you just keep dropping stuff? And it's like, because we're periodic, all right? We do it when we feel it.
Exactly.
Anything we put out that people enjoy. So,
well, shoot, man. That's all I got for today. We talked the draft a little bit. We talked Texas basketball, the power rankings.
Yeah.
We say Dallas, Rockets, Spurs. Talked about the Nuggets as usual. Got to keep that Denver love.
Yeah.
The new music. Man, y'all Denver artists, get with us. Local artists, get with us. National artists, get with us. But for sure, you Denver, Colorado artists, get with us, man. We'd love to have you on the show if you're watching this, if you happen to come across this, right?
Yeah.
Let us know. All you athletes out there that are watching, you rap, you DJ, come on, man. We'd love to have you on the show. Just come chop it up. Get your music out there. We'll help push it too. You know what I mean?
We'll have Jello on here.
Yeah, we'll get. Jello's probably the biggest, right? We got to show us why your music's better than Jello's. Because right now, I'm saying, I'm saying. Nah. Yeah, you got anything else though? Any other music? Any other things you're looking forward to for next Friday?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the Russ just dropped his whole album.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take a listen at that over the week. I'll definitely take a listen to Tech Nine. Logic just keeps dropping tracks every now and then, man. He dropped another track called Bleed. I haven't taken a listen to that one yet, but it's kind of interesting to see him stay in retirement but let out these tracks. And,
that's how you don't have to have commitment, right? It's like, well, if your people don't like it, it doesn't matter, right?
Right,
but
exactly.
If you like it, I'll come out and do more.
Yeah, and then Rick Ross and Pharrell have a new track.
Yeah, it's all right.
I haven't taken a listen to it. You've heard it?
I listened to a bit of it this morning. I was listening to it.
Got you. Yeah, no, I gotta take a listen to a few songs and kind of have some feedback for next Saturday. See how everything's transitioning and everything's going. I'm really interested in that Russ album though, just to see if there's anything other than his melody on there. Really, honestly, because like when he does put out those those almost trap style tracks, they hit, man. To me, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like his flow is just so melodic too.
Yeah,
like he pretty smooth with it.
Yeah.
And then Belly Gang Cushington. Let's see if he got an album. That's my dude. He came out with May was the last time he dropped. Come on, man, you gotta get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, shoot. All you guys out there watching, I want to say thanks for rocking with us for sure.
Yep.
Over here at the bus stop, hanging out Saturday morning, a new day, new time. Finally got it going. Finally get it running. This is what will be coming out to you guys 9:30. We may come back on Thursdays with some special guests, but for us, we'll be coming with our update Saturday morning so we can beat that Sunday morning rush when the NFL season starts. So who knows? You may see more Broncos news popping up in these next few weeks. Maybe not. So that's today's stop. Big love for y'all that's riding with us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that share button. You guys in the rewatch, hit that like button, hit that share button as well. Drop your takes over on X. Join the convo on Facebook, Discord, wherever you're watching us at, and catch us the same time next week.
Yep. And we do got something special coming for you guys. We're going to have some on the site, at certain site kind of bus stops coming up. So as we get close to this NFL season, so like Gemini has said, you might start seeing some more Broncos stuff coming up as the season approaches. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming on up. Still looking for those guest appearances, still looking to schedule those in, start getting more people up on here just to chat with us and, shoot through this new music and talk sports with us.
Yep. You know what I mean? Don't sleep on the Sauce King, those rookies, man. The season's going to be wild in the NBA. It's gonna be can't wait. As you said, can't wait for the Broncos season. We're gonna be bringing you more Broncos talk and stuff. So, just Denver sports all day, man. We'll be talking Spartans too when they come back around. And there's a new Colorado football team starting. So, football all day, basketball all day. Send us your sports news. Send us your music. We got it. We want to talk about it
all day.
Yes. So until next week, guys. It's been fun. Thanks for rocking with us. Have a great weekend. And enjoy your 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.